Hello everyone, welcome to the Messy Desk. Today we have another parcel. If you can guess from these supplies, I have some colorings here. They are inks testing book. It's like for you to do ink swatches or ink swabs, whichever term you prefer. And they are from the well-appointed desk. And we have cotton swabs. So I'm not sure if you have guessed it already, but yes, this is the Diamine Inkvent Calendar 2021. Let's get to the unboxing. Okay, we have a packing sheet here. Basically, there's nothing else in this order besides my Diamine calendar. And they definitely took some pains to make sure that my package arrives intact.
One eternity later.
There we go. Ta-da! It's a huge box and it's not quite fitting into the camera. So if you've seen my previous video, we were looking at the 2019 Diamine Inkvent Calendar. So you can get those inks in large 50 ml bottles if you like them. I presume that this year's Inkvent Calendar you would be able to do the same. As you can see, I'm going to swatch the inks one by one, so if you like spoilers and if you ordered yours and you are going to open it as a surprise, please don't watch this video obviously because I'm going to spoil it for you. So this is the second time that they are doing this Inkvent calendar. I got their first box as well. It's a nicely packaged box. The box itself looks gorgeous with silver and gold accents. You can kind of cheat and pull out all the bottles from here, or you can do it the proper way and open it up from the little windows in front. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll open up each ink and do the swatches as I open. So first up, day one. I have not seen any reviews or spoilers yet, so really excited to see what the colors are. There we go. Oh, Seize the Night. This is a 12ml bottle, and this time around, instead of the glass bottles they used previously, let me show it to you here. So 2019 they were in glass bottles, and every day you get 7 ml of ink, and on the final day is a plastic 30 ml bottle. This time you get more ink. This is 12 ml of ink, and on the last day I think you also get a bigger bottle. I am quite glad that they changed to a plastic bottle because less chances of breakage. But the problem with these bottles is that it is a bit space consuming. Takes up a bit of space to store them. This is difficult to open. Where did my knife go? So let's get to the swabbing. I'm a bit of a miser, so I would use both ends of the cotton bud, but I realized that if you use one side and then use the other, the likelihood of dirtying your hands with ink from the already used side is very high. So now I cut them into half before I use them. Just from the bottle, it looks like it's a very dark red purple. I would have guessed like a black for this ink if I were to just look at the name. I'm not sure if anyone else does swabs the way I do. I like to make use of pretty much every single part of the swatch. So I would really saturate the ink on this blob over here, have a less saturated blob here, and then do the swab as per normal like this, down below. And the reason why I'm holding just the very tip of the paper is that because you get oils on your finger, and if you touch all over the paper before you do the swab, sometimes it's really obvious, like you have a fingerprint in the middle of the swab because that's where you touched it and all the oils are left behind, so the paper doesn't absorb the ink as well. Of course, the bad thing about doing the swab the way I do with the big blobs up front is that it takes forever to dry. First thoughts on the ink, it looks a lot less purple than when I saw it concentrated in the bottles. Kind of like a brown and purple mixed together. Not one of my favorites for sure, not falling in love with it at first sight, but I can see that it's kind of a nice ink to use for more formal situations, like you could use this at work. Okay, so that's day one. So it seems like I've lost quite a bit of audio, and since I can't refilm an unboxing video, you'll just have to bear with my voiceover. Now let's move on to day 2. Looks like we have a green ink called Garland, and there's a shimmer and sheening ink. You can see the shimmer particles inside here. So this is day 2 Garland. I was expecting it to be more green, but this is definitely a lot more blue, like a bit of a turquoise than I expected. Kind of like a blue-green. Reminds me a bit of Emerald of Chivor, but without that shimmer. Well, this ink is supposed to have shimmer, but we need to wait for the ink to dry, and same goes for the sheen. Speaking of dry, here is Seize the Night. It's not fully dried, and we can see there's some sheen at the edges, so I put a lot of ink and a little bit of sheen in the swatch as well. Now we move on to day 3, it's right here, and let's see what we get inside. So the ink for day 3 is ash, and I guess it's a grey, and let's see, so it's a standard ink, you can see right here, and let's get swatching. Wow, I was not expecting this swatch to look so light. The words looks okay, but maybe the cotton swab is a bit dry, so the main swatch itself, it actually looks really light. Overall though, I would still say that the readability is pretty good, because if you just look at the writing with the glass nib dip pen, it's very readable and very dark. I'll say it's a nice ink color, and it actually gives me those kind of like the new China inks kind of vibe, like pastel-y with some blackish undertones. It's a really nice ink, pretty special. Not expecting to see that from Diamine, but I'm glad they came up with something new. Let's just look at the first 3 since they are dried. I'm really liking Garland. It reminds me a lot of Happy Holidays, kind of a similar vibes, similar blue shimmer and the red sheen. Yeah, really loving this one. Oh dear, I wrote day 3 but I did not write the ink name. This is ash. It has nice soft shading. Now that it's dry, it looks a lot less green than it was initially. And Seize the Night looks more purple grey. This is day 4. The number is not exactly on the door. Tempest. This is it's a shimmer. You can see, ooh, it's got like a gold shimmer. Looks like a very dark color though. So far we've got all pretty dark colors. Okay, Tempest. So shake. Yep, it's like a deep dark blue. Just looking at it like that, my first impression was like, oh, 54 Massachusetts. Let's see if it really is. It looks really dark. This Inkvent Calendar is really getting off the very dark start. This is quite unlike their previous series where they started off with like what I have here. They started off with blue peppermint, candy cane, very bright colors. So far we've got really dark colors this year. I mean, the very first bottle, Seize the Night, is quite a dark color. This is very interesting. I mean, no doubt dark colors are way easier to use compared to light colors. It's more practical. Oh look, I think that blob over there with no liquid. That's because I got my finger oils over it. yeah, this is a very deep dark blue. From here I can see it's like a blue-black. When I write with it, it's so dark. It's almost like a black. You can see some of the golden shimmer that's already starting to show on the words that's dry. As for the big blobs of ink, we gotta wait for it to dry more before the shimmer will show up. Okay, meanwhile, this is day 4. Let's move on to day 5. Gotta say that this is a huge box, and clearly my filming setup is not meant for filming such huge boxes. Okay, here's number 5. Ooh, purple? Harmony. Okay, it's standard ink. Okay, let's see what it's like. Looking at this part, gives me some grey vibes, like a purple grey. Not sure if it's really meant to be that way, but I see like grey tones in here. It's like a pastel purple but darkened with some grey. It's a nice color and a little bit less dark and dull. So far we are getting very dark inks. Definitely great for readability and usability, but I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more happier or brighter colors like their previous set, since it's a Christmassy thing. I feel like the inks are quite different from what Diamine has in their usual lineup, so it's nice to see that they are constantly coming up with new products. Okay, so that was day 5. Day 6, here we go. Winter Spice. Okay, no idea what the winter spice is, but looks like we got a brown, and oh, it's also a shimmer plus sheen. Let me guess, it's going to be a yellow gold sheen. Oh, the shimmer, meanwhile the shimmer is like a purple maybe? So since the ink is a brown, that purple is definitely from the shimmer, so I think it's a purple shimmer. It's very bubbly, that looks like a nice dark chocolate. Got an unsightly hole there in the middle, but too bad, that's what it is. Okay, looks like a very nice chocolatey brown. Reminds me of one of the inks they just had in the other series, or okay, maybe not. It's quite different. Clearly I don't know my browns. I don't use brown inks that much, but this is quite a nice dark brown. Now we gotta wait and see what the sheen and shimmer looks like. Now let's look for day 7. Oh, there we go. 7 right in the corner. Ooh, we have a yellow Candlelight. It's a standard ink. The thing about yellow inks is that they tend to be not very usable, but since we have had like 6 days of pretty dark colored inks, I'm really happy to have something bright. Just make sure you hold on to both ends when you cut, because you don't want them to be flying. It looks like a nice dark yellow orange color. It's definitely like a orangey yellow. Reminds me of like a honeycomb kind of color. Definitely the lightest ink we've gotten so far. It's like a cross between golden brown and golden orange. Does this look more brown to you or more orange? Maybe a bit more brown. It makes it very easy to read and very usable for normal writing. You shouldn't be straining your eyes to read the words from this ink. Okay, it's been a while, so the inks are dry. You can see here, this is Tempest with a nice gold shimmer. From the camera, it looks like the grey is more green, but in reality, it doesn't look as green as it does on the screen. Okay, this is Harmony. Seems like there's some nice shading around the edges if your pen is wet enough. Winter Spice. Okay, so I can see some yellow sheen on the sides. This is weird to me. It has sheen and shimmer, but the shimmer is blue and the sheen is yellow. Sheen is not so obvious at all, even though I'm pretty sure it's marked with a shimmer and sheen, but the blue and the brown, in real life the brown is slightly redder than what I'm seeing on the screen, but blue and brown doesn't seem to go that well together. It kind of looks a bit out of place to me. I don't know, what do you think? Yeah, it's just not super fan of it. Okay, Candlelight. It's a standard color. I like that. I like the shading when you throw down a lot of ink, but otherwise it's not that obvious. Pretty readable, but not super special. Nice, but doesn't really like grab out to me. So far, I'm still liking Day 2 Garland the most. I guess it just falls into the category of colors I like. So these are the first 7 inks from the 2021 Diamine Inkvent Calendar. There are just way too many inks for me to finish swatching in one video, so please subscribe to my channel and hit the all notifications bell so you won't miss a thing. Also, please feel free to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.